This video chart presentation at ENGlobal brought to you by allpennystocks.com. ENGlobal is a NASDAQ Global Market stock trading our ticker ENG. It's one of our U.S. technical stocks to watch this week. Both had very similar looks. True bottom busters. The end of last week found some strength. Nice up day on Thursday. Another move ahead on Friday, even though the stock closed lower than it opened, still closed ahead the previous day. Put itself together another green day yesterday. We're going to keep this on radar for continued upward pressure because there's a nice rise available to meet the first real resistance point, but also talk about what to look for if this stock wants to pull back some. Now with the quick bounce, we're probably going to see some sharp turns in the indicators, but probably not going to get a whole lot from them at this point. I see the MACD histogram is moving back towards zero. Bullish cross becoming the 12 through the 26 EMA. PPO, ADX, not super tight, but a nice reversal position. Negative DI up around 40. PPO dipped down below negative 10. Some stocks never really reach that real deep pinch where you'll see the PPO down at negative 20, negative 30, negative 40. You'll see this ADX cranking up around 60 or 70. Some stocks just never really achieve that point. So you just have to look at the overall setup, and this is still a nice reversal position and a great position to look for initial balance, which is exactly happening with this stock. Now, of course, with the movement, money flow index, clearly the stock's been taking on some buying pressure. MFI moving sharply out of oversold territory. Accumulation distribution still in a stark downtrend. Basically across the whole chart, you can see the downward path it's been on. I'd be looking just for some upward pressure to come in to show that there's some accumulation going on in this stock. Shaking money flow has given hints of that happening. Over the last 20 periods, selling pressure is still dominating buying pressure. That's why the CMF is registering below zero, but is continually making higher lows, making its way back towards zero to show that buying and selling pressure is somewhat equalizing. CCI has broken through negative 100. Bottom feeders will use that as a buy point. It'd be a sell if the CCI breaks back down through negative 100. Full stow, it's a gauge of momentum, starting to move upward. Tricks, just not going to get anything from that. It's a lagging indicator. It's triple exponentially smooth. Moves very slowly. RSI is also a gauge of momentum, making a sharp move over the last 3 days. But as with most plays, what this really comes down to is the candles. Nice bottom support there, 80 cents. Should the stock pull all the way back down? But in the more near term, trying to identify if this stock is going to make an overall reversal. And what I'd be looking for on any pullback is I'd be looking for around the $1 mark if it can't continue to push upward here in the immediate future. In its most basic sense, I always look for higher lows. The $1 mark typically represents a psychological area, whether it's support or resistance. And if this wants to dip back, there's a very slight amount of resistance/support that's been established at that area already. And I'd look for that area to firm as a new support level. If it drops below it, and it tries to come back up, ultimately I wouldn't want to see it drop all the way back down to 80 cents. Say it comes somewhere in through there around 90 cents. But then I'd look at that $1 mark to start to serve as a new resistance point. As a bottom play like this develops, I always look for those firm support and resistance levels to start to establish themselves. And in this case, I'd certainly be looking at that $1 mark. Now this stock closed at $1.10 yesterday. And I don't see resistance coming in the way until up near $1.40. Now that's a 30-cent rise, somewhere around 25%. That's a nice upside. It's also going to encounter the 50-day moving average. Right now it's at $1.42, but it's dynamic. It's going to continue downward. I look for that area to be a tough spot of resistance should this continued upward pressure come in. Volume in the play, 72,000 shares, a pretty thinly traded stock. I did not take a look at the share structure, but 70,000 shares would actually be a pretty decent volume day for this stock. So I'd look for that volume to try and stay stable around these areas. If it wants to pull back, I'd want to see it volume diminishing even more. And then on any upward pressure, I'd look for a volume spike to show that people are seeing it as a buying opportunity. Those are the type of things that I'd be looking for in the ENG chart, but as always, it's merely my interpretation. I'm not a financial consultant and strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to view the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions on any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.